Howdy folks, it's Alterl here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we're going to conclude the Czech route bush trip. 2 legs left. That's all the introduction you get because I assume you've been watching this along the way. Let's get going. Alright, so the first thing we do is we hop outside. We just check out what's looking like. What is looking like here. Since it's been a few days since we flew. So just getting a reminder. We landed at the airport at the foothills of the Bohemian Forest. And while there's hills and mountains behind us, we're not actually going that way. We're going to conclude this bush trip by going that way, back towards the center of the circle we've been making. Alrighty, yeah, pretty straightforward stuff, I think. I'm assuming you've been watching bush trips with me before, and if you haven't, welcome. Although this is the end of a bush trip, so hopefully you've seen what's come before, making sure the flaps are right this time. Do we have GPS? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, so we'll use the heading bug. Get it ready just in case. Yeah, GPS is not right because we want to go to the left. Alright, let's get this set up as well. Zoom out a little bit. And where are we headed? We are headed to November Oscar. So looking at the train, yeah, we'll say 5,000 feet. That's where we were before. November Oscar's up there. Yeah. I want to get our airport elevation though, because it is in the hills. November Oscar. Is what? Oh, it's only 2,000 feet. Okay, so 5,000 feet it is. Whoops, what did I just do? 5,000 feet on this thing, and then well, why is it doing that? I want to go by thousands. Thank you. We will adjust that. Autopilot is we're in the air. That's it, right? Yeah, let's read about what we're doing. I'm just trying to think about what I should say since we started a new video, but like I said, I'm sure you've all been watching the other videos of this bush trip, so let's not repeat ourselves too much. Lift off from the airport instead of heading to the northeast, pass over the confluence of a few rivers. The longest river in Czechia, or Czech Republic, if you're old like I am, to reach the city of České, Budějovice, something. The city is the largest population center in South Bohemia, and is home to a number of universities, including the Academy of Sciences. That's really close. That's right by us. So we're going to keep reading about the next thing here. I just coursed and passed over the city of Rodolfov. Gain a visual on motorway and follow it to another town. So city with a university and 2 small towns. And let's keep reading here. Adjust course and sight the region of ponds. I would assume that's this. This portion of South Bohemia is known as the Trebon Basin, and is notable for its wetlands and ponds. Pass directly over the town and continue on course. Gain a visual motorway 23. We've been following motorway 23 most of this bush trip. In the distance, there's another town at the intersection of some roads, and there's a large L-shaped pond. So we're going to fly over some cities and towns and ponds. When we get to an L-shaped pond, that's where you'll hear my voice again. We'll read about the rest of it. But for right now, let's take off the parking brake and hold the brake. Full throttle, although we don't need to take off like this. We have more than 200 feet. Let's go. And then I'll adjust heading bug once we're in the air and autopilot. I should have done that first, but that's okay. Alright, rudder's going to work for me. There we go. And up here for the TDZ. Bam. Brakes, stop the wheels. Flaps coming in. Let's get a little bit of speed. And what's our first heading going to be? 42 degrees. Let's come down here and turn this to 42 degrees. Come on. There we go. Alright, heading bug and vertical speed of 1,200 feet per minute. Engage autopilot. We'll do a midfield turn. We requested permission. And away we go. How's our climb? 950? I said 1,200, please. Come on, you can do it. You can do 1,200. Let's do 13. There we go. Now it's catching up. You have to hit it at the right spot for it to activate correctly. Alrighty, flying over a town and some rivers and a city over here. And then we'll be on our way. The way sightseeing works is I condense the time it takes to fly by cutting out stuff. But I always leave stuff that's the POIs and stuff in between, so you never miss anything. It just saves you some time. And once your co-pilot is done talking to us, I'll turn you loose. We're going to see how many people there are. Just take this little town, which is not so little. All the high-rises of business and residence. And how many people are living in that one building? Multiply it by this, multiply by the cities in the region, multiply by the cities in the world. It's just incomprehensible. It really is. The only time it's easy to realize how many people there are is when you're in a small college town, like the rail system, and you get to know most people, and then you multiply that by millions and billions. Alrighty, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Alright, we're all set. We're going to turn you loose, and then we're going to look for some ponds and some towns, and the university should be right below us. Let's see if we can find the university. The Academy of Sciences. One of these buildings. It all looks like university type stuff, especially that area. Somewhere is the Academy of Sciences. Maybe it's here. I could look it up in Google and put a little marker in editing, but I'll leave that to you if you want to know. Alrighty, I'm going to turn you loose. We're going to look for some ponds, some towns, and I'll see you, well, we need to do our next heading here. And I'll see you at an L-shaped pond, 62 degrees, quickly please, before we get off track. And there we go. See you in a little bit. Alright, our town is right below us with the Y or L-shaped lake right there. Pretty obvious when you have it on your map, giving it away. Giving it away. Alrighty, what's our next heading going to be, though, before we read about what we're doing? 68 degrees in just a moment. I will wait a second before we turn it, just so that we stay on target here. 68 degrees in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is a 68. Whoops, this way. Up to make the numbers go up. Up on the mouse to make the numbers go up. 68, right? Alrighty, there's our lake right there. What good timing is that? So what are you going to read about now? I guess it's a pond. We're going to set a course, which we did, and fly into the highlands. Okie dokie. Past just south of the town of Nová, located along Motorway 23. Continue on course to another town, which is notable as it lies directly on the border of the historic regions of Bohemia and Moravia. Why am I having a hard time pronouncing these things? Moravia. After that, we're going to turn and look for a tiny little runway just northwest of the larger, more northern pond. Okay, well, again, it's on our map giving it away for us, but okay, so we're going to go over the highlands, look for a town, and go to the airport and land to conclude the penultimate leg of this bush trip. Let's correct our course a little bit because we flew over it. Alright, see you in a couple minutes. Simple as that. Alright, we're going to turn on our final heading of 333.333 degrees. And then we'll look for an airport here. And you hear my mouse in the background going clunk, clunk, clunk. Alrighty. There's an airport out there somewhere, supposedly, and it's not that far away. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say that the scenery is getting better, but now it's getting kind of weird again. But anyway, well, that looks good in the distance. Let's enjoy that sight for a moment, and let's get comfortable in our chair because... Oh, dang it. I slipped. My chair rolled back. Sorry. That happens a lot. So anyway, that looks absolutely beautiful out there. And let's stare for a second. Wow, look at that town right there. Look out the other window. And let's look behind us at the mountains that we're not going to see. Oh, they're kind of fading away. Anyway, let's hop inside then and let's look for the airport. That should not be too far away. Not at all. Oh my gosh, it's coming up very quickly. Let's turn autopilot off. Let's slow this thing down by bringing throttles back and nosing up. Let's slow this down in a hurry. And the airport is right in front of us, it says. Even though I don't see it. Now we are perpendicular to it, so it's harder to see. So it's probably in here somewhere, maybe. Keep an eye on that speed. Holy cow, let's not get too slow yet. It'll take us forever to get there. So throttles back in a little bit. 3/4 away, maybe. Check out the reference image one more time. In a field with a little strip of pavement. Okay. No, let's stay out of the yellow. We're going to need time to slow down. And we're pretty high, too, so we're going to have to come down while we're at a high rate of speed, which means tough to slow down. Alright, let's see. There's a body of water. Okay, here we go. So there's water right before it. Remember, it said there's the pond, just north of the pond. That's what it said. So at the tip of the pond leads to the tip of the runway. So there it is, right there. Okay, cool. So let's go east of the pond so we can give ourselves some sort of final approach. Look outside a final time here. Hopefully not slip out of my chair again. And enjoy this penultimate approach of the penultimate leg of the antepenultimate bush trip of the Czechia World Update. Looking good. There's a town out there and some more hills in the background which we flew around in the beginning. We're doing like a big spiral from the outside to the inside of the region. That's what this bush trip is. There's the tip of the lake. I don't actually see the runway yet. I think it's right. Oh no, I do. It's right there. Boy, that's a small runway. It's probably 4 times the size we need, but it seems small from up here. So keep an eye on those vitals. Let's start slowing down a little bit more. And then we'll look down the barrel of the runway in a moment. And then hopefully land safely. This isn't the most difficult landing of the bush trip, but it's not the easiest either. First set of flaps. Let's keep our speed around 100 knots until we're ready to come in. So nose down to keep it at 100. Throttles to keep us from descending. And let's try to find that prize. I don't know where it went. Where'd it go? Is it right there? Oh gosh, yes it is. We got there faster than I thought. Full flap now. Come on. My yoke had to go all the way over this to start the turn. That was weird. Nose down to pick up some speed. And where'd the runway go? I lost it. I lost it. Is that it up there? There it is. I see it. It's over here. Alright, cool. That is it, right? That is it. Okay. I saw a lot of tiny airfields that weren't even on the GPS as we flew over the pond. So I just want to make sure this was the right place. Sure seems to be. Or is it? I don't know. We'll find out when we get there. Already full flap. Gears fixed so it's down. Our speed is a little slow, but we'll take it because we have to descend. And we're going to pick up a little bit of speed as we descend. And wind is a non-issue. So just tail dragger stuff. Coming steep, level off. Plop that thing down. 1 bounce is acceptable, but we haven't had any bounces for the past like 5 legs. So that's awesome. And We haven't even teased the stall horn either, have we? That's okay, we don't need to for these longer runways. Alright, final look to the left. Probably a bad idea, because now we're too low and too slow. That's okay, a little bit of throttle to keep us from descending. Keep her pitched the way it is though, because her speed is good. And don't let the throttles get away from us here. And there's a little bit of hill, so aim for the numbers so we don't hit this hill just before the runway. Oh, we're a little slow. A little slow. And here we go. This is a tiny runway. Oh my gosh. And we're landing uphill. Yuck. And are we going to land anytime soon here? No bounces. Good. Reversers engaged. Brakes. Flaps are in to keep us on the ground. And reversers disengaged. And we're rolling backwards. Oh, wow. That actually looked smooth, but that was actually an incredibly difficult landing. Uphill with those bumps. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Alrighty. Final leg. Here we go. The aircraft has been refueled. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And we're headed to where? First, though, let's zoom this thing out. And what are we looking at for terrain? Okay, we'll keep 5,000 feet. Then we get to the river, we'll come down and land. See, it's a big spiral, see? Of the region. Alrighty, let's keep our zoom like that, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I was thinking something else. Okay. Let's see, flaps. We want one flap. Come over here. Autopilot, we'll keep this. Everything will keep the same. Okay. Where did they put us, though? Did they put us on the runway? They did. Okay, good. Because we need all that space. Oh, we're going uphill. Ugh. We really should back taxi and then turn around and land downhill or whatever. We'll keep the way it is. Okie dokie. After launching from wherever we are, confirming those flaps again, instead of heading to the northwest and land, the land along this flight corridor lies at the juncture Bohemian Moravia. Gain a visual on the town in the distance. Like many towns, it's heavily influenced by the 30 Years' War. You can read about that if you want to by pausing the video. And then after that, it's a long one, 31 minutes. We'll adjust course to the northwest and fly over the pastoral scenes of hedgerows, fields, and swaths of forest. Gain a visual on the Bohemian town of Vlazim. Alrighty, let's keep reading here because this is a long one. After that, we'll turn northwest and follow the general trend of the winding rail line, remaining primarily to its north to reach another town located in the Benislav uplands part of the central Bohemian region. So we're going to straddle a few regions and look for a few towns and look for a rail line, and then we'll reconvene over here and read about what's next. Incredibly straightforward. Alrighty, what was I doing again? I just had to help a child with something. Parking brake off. And we are going to definitely ramp this up before we get going here because we have a very short runway. And it's uphill. Pretty crazy. With some bumps. Alright, come on, rudders. Work for me, please. Oh boy. Oh, full right rudder and we went left. Yeah. Yeah. And we're up. Brakes to stop the wheels. Flaps coming in. And what was our first heading? I swore I looked at it. 299. Let's come down here. And heading bug. Let's go like this. 299 while we continue our climb out. There we go. Heading bug. Please, thank you. Autopilot engage. Vertical speed. We only need 1,300 feet per minute. And why won't it climb, please? Vertical speed. I have to hold it manually. Come on. Come on. Why aren't you taking my vertical speed, please? 1,300 feet per minute. Why is it not doing its thing? Oh, man. Come on. Autopilot disengage. Autopilot engage. There we go. Yes? No? Yes? 500 feet. What? 500 feet per minute? That's not what I said. I said 1,200 feet per minute. Oh, now it's going. Yay. No, it isn't. Come on. Climb. What are we going to hit? Nothing. Oh boy, yeah, we better climb. The Highlander creeping up on us here. Now it's working. See, you just have to be patient. Flap journey and everything's ready to go. We're just gonna fly this way. Look for stuff. I don't even. It's like half an hour later from my introduction because I had helped my kid. So I don't know what we were doing. Highlands, towns, rivers. I just know I'm gonna talk to you again here, or was it here? I don't know. I'm gonna give you some sightseeing. Wow, that suddenly got a lot better than the previous leg. Sightseeing, and I'll see in a little bit once I figure out what in the world I was doing. Alright, there's our town there, just about to get under the nose next to that forest. Let's read about what is next. Next is the Slippery Reservoir. Remain on course and gain a visual on a small group of ponds near the village. Fly over the village and continue on course. Flying over the southern of a group of 2 ponds, and then gain a visual on the northern end of the reservoir. This reservoir was created in 1955 by the damming of the Vltava River near the village of Slappy. Fly over the northern end of the reservoir, then turn north-northwest. The reservoir was established for flood control, municipal and agricultural water supply, and hydroelectricity generation. Due to its proximity to Prague, it is also a popular recreation destination. Ah, that's cool. So there's a reservoir there, I guess. And I'm going to turn to Prague. Oh my gosh, really? That's awesome. Fly along the corridor. And remain on the river's east to Prague, the capital and largest city in Czechia. I'm so excited to see Prague in the air. Prague is one of the world's most renowned cities, influenced by a wide range of cultures through the centuries, and having survived the travails, whatever that means, of internal upheaval and world wars. The cultural mix of Prague is one of history's most distinctive. I would love to go to Prague someday. So if anybody wants to fund a trip to Prague for me after my big surgery, let me know. And we gotta make a turn here in a minute to 284, by the way. Diversity here is reflected in architecture and includes exceptional examples of Gothic, Baroque, and Renaissance structures. From the air, aviators can explore myriad parks, cathedrals, and all forms of architecture, both modern and centuries old. We'll read about the airport after we turn 284 degrees. So mouse wheel down to make the numbers go down. 284, are we over that city? We are over that city. Let's look at that city, by the way. Whoop! Where'd you go? There you are. There we go. Awesome. Alright, so we have a reservoir where people are skinny dipping, and then we have Prague up there somewhere. I love how Prague is also in the Forza games, although it's a fictional track. It's my favorites in the Forza games in Prague. They're reading about something. Oh yeah, the airport. Alright, here we go. Turn to the northwest over the city of Prague and land at an airport to bring this exploration of Czechia to a close. Or in the United States, we still call it Czech Republic, even though I know the government wants you to call it Czechia. Czechia. Alrighty, about 9 miles out from the reservoir and about 15 or so out from Prague. And then we land at PR, Papa Romeo, which is Prague. Very exciting conclusion to this bush trip. And I'll see you when it's time to land this thing. Enjoy the sights along the way. Alright, we're coming up in Prague, and holy cow, is the sim struggling to load everything from the servers. My goodness, it's not a frame rate issue, and it's not my computer. It's when we get to some of these areas, the servers just can't send the information fast enough, so it gets all weird and stops and stalls a little bit. But again, it's not frame rates, because things would keep going with bad frame rates. It actually stops and stalls. So we had some issues, but hopefully it'll be okay by the time we try to land, because it is time to take over manually. So let's briefly look outside at Prague and imagine the fictional Forza racetrack going through here. It'd be nice if we had time to stop and look around, but we don't. So there you go. There's Prague, at least that part of it. The motorway going through. I guess we have a second to look behind us too. Might as well look all the way around. There we go. Hop inside. Turn off the autopilot machine because we are overshooting our turn. And bring back throttle a little bit so we can descend a little bit. And let's try to find this airport. Actually, we need to have a good approach anyway. Oh, there it is right there. Is it that big? Oh yeah, boom, boom. Okay. Never mind. The sim is telling us to land there, which we will. What does the wind look like? Doesn't really matter. Oh my gosh. Stop stalling. Again, these are not frame rates. This is actually the sim stalling because it's trying to load everything. And it makes it incredibly difficult to land. If it makes us crash, I'll be frustrated. Because this should be the easiest landing of the entire trip. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this bush trip. I like it. It's not my top favorite, but it's up there with my favorites. Oh my gosh, I have a hard time loading things and it's not responding to any of my input. Ah, look at this. Yikes. This happened in Quebec too. Not Quebec, Montreal. Yuck. And pausing the sim so that it can load everything doesn't work. Like I've tried the active pause thing, like for example, let's do active pause once we have control of aircraft here. Let's level off, a little bit of throttle, and active pause. Okay. And your airplane still does stuff though, so you still got to control your throttle and stuff, or else you can stall and all these things. A little bit more throttle. There we go. Let's look outside. Okay, is it loading things? The reason why I'm active pausing is I want to see if this gives it a chance to load everything, and then maybe it'll get smoother. So it's okay as I move around now and we look at Prague. Beautiful city. Look at that. I'm watching traffic down there. Okay, just beautiful. Now that gives it a chance to load everything. So if we come back in unactive pause, is it going to work better now? You know what I mean? First set of flaps. Let's get a little bit lower, but not much. See, it still is loading things. Whatever. Throttle's back. Nope, not that much. Ugh. This is going to be rough, folks. Huge bummer, too. Yuck. Stop loading stuff. Just be done. There you go. Now I got smooth. Nope. Spoke too soon. Oh, man. This is going to be icky. Icky, icky, poo-poo. Don't like it. Oh, look at the airplane landing. Right there. We're going to follow them in. Nice. That'll be fun. They're having a hard time, too. They're loading stuff, too. Oh my goodness. Alrighty, let's keep our descent going here. We already have one set of flaps. We'll do second set of flaps in a moment. Another airplane right in front of us. How many are going to come in here? Is there one behind it? I don't know, but we got to land this thing. There's no ATC in bush trips, so we're just going to follow these guys in. Let's descend a little more. Throttle's back, nose down. Keep our speed up. And we're just going to follow this dude in. Maybe it's a dudette. We're going to follow him in. Alrighty. Whew, I have a feeling there's going to be a plane behind us that's going to overrun us. We'll see a plane come through our cockpit here. It's happened before. Oh, stop loading things. We're not even looking at the stuff behind us. Or it could be tons and tons of other air traffic, because they do have other traffic turned on. I forgot to turn it off. Because that's what our problem in Montreal. I remember now. Full flap, by the way. In Montreal, I had all traffic turned on. It was just too much for the sim to calculate. More speed, please. I don't want to stall. I really do think we're going to have an airplane go right through our cockpit. I'm trying to be ready for it because it will be startling. Can we go like this, perhaps? And look behind us? I don't see anybody behind us, but it's smooth when we look that way. Ugh. Yuck. Alright, let's come down, bring throttles back here. Yucky, yucky. We can do it, though. The problem is not taking my input. If it were bad frame rates because of my computer, it would still accept my input. but it's actually just stalling. So if I do any type of input during the quick stalls, it doesn't take it. So like I'll adjust my throttle and it won't take it, so I'll readjust it, then it shoots way up, for example. But we'll do the best we can. Hopefully we don't crash, because I don't want to have to redo this leg and deal with this again, because it won't be any better the next time. So let's just come down. And whoa. Let's stay a little faster than normal, just so we can ride it out a little bit longer here. Yuck. Okay, now it's a little bit smoother. Still not perfect, but it's landable. Whoop, just as I say that. Alrighty. Throttle's back. Ooh, yuck. Input. Take my input, please. Just land yourself. Just land yourself. That's fine. There we go. Reversers, they are working. They did take that. Flaps up. On the brakes, yoke back. And then we'll let reversers bring us backwards so we can... There we go. Now we won't tail strike. Or prop strike. Wow, I held my breath while I was talking. That was a lot. Oh my gosh. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it. Goodness gracious, that was quite an ending to a pretty decent bush trip. I liked it. Not my top favorite, but it's up in my favorites. So if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more. We have 2 more bush trips to go to catch up with the world update of Czechia. And that area is more than Czech Republic. And hit the like button so people know we exist. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person doing every single bush trip. And we've done 40 of them now, and we're not going to stop anytime soon. So hit those buttons and things and click around, and I'll see you next time.